time to talk to us.
Well, usually this time I'm watching film with Kat, so we moved film to after practice. So.
What's it mean to you to be first team, knowing what the schedule has been, knowing your road here?
Yeah, I mean it's really cool, especially it being my last year. You know, it means a lot to me that, you know, someone sees that in me and they voted for that. And I think it's just kind of a testament to this year too. Like, this whole team's been through, you know, a bunch of challenges, ups and downs, and even last year. So I think it's just kind of cool. It says a lot about this season for us, and I'm really blessed to have gone it.
So for people who don't know, like, what does a day look like? Can you break it down from like the start to the end?
So I usually get up at 6, and then I start teaching at 7:15, and then I'll go from about 7:15 to 2:35. Then drive over here, watch film, or do a small workout with Kat from like 3 to 3:15, and then film and lift and practice. So by the time I get home, it's usually about 7. So, and then go to bed like 10, 11, and then do it all again.
What's the key to making that work?
I've just been doing it for so long, and I mean, I've told people before, like, I like being busy, like I do better when I'm busy and have a schedule. So I think that's just part of my personality too, is like very type A, very rigid. So I think I just kind of gone with it, and I've been doing it. This is my 4th semester doing it, so I'm kind of like just used to it by now. So yeah.
I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I don't know if you could share publicly, but are you looking for more basketball in your future?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know yet. It's really kind of up in the air. I would love to do something overseas possibly if I could, if my body kind of holds up, whatnot. But, you know, going overseas this summer just kind of expedited that a little bit. I was like, well, this would be really fun. But I also like love teaching. So, I mean, if I could get something, you know, that would benefit me early on in a career in that, then I would definitely do that. So, I mean, I'm open to a lot of things. I'm not really set on one thing or whatnot, but yeah.
Getting in a tournament setting, you know, whether it's NCAA tournament, whether the Big Ten tournament, especially as seniors, knowing the situation, what's that mindset have to be for you guys, especially knowing the situation and it's one and done from here on out, basically?
I mean, I think we thrive in these situations, and I feel like this team has a lot of experience in those situations. You know, from Shauna's first year here to we got in the NCAA, and then last year, you know, winning the WBIT. So I feel like a lot of us, and even like some of our sophomores and juniors, like they have experience in that, which I think can be really helpful, because it's not like we don't have a learning curve in these tournaments, and you can't have a learning curve because, I mean, once you lose, again, like you said, you're done. So I think it'll be, you know, we look at it as it'll be beneficial for some of those freshmen. So like Barry, Haven, even Cece and Erica, some of them coming in as, you know, freshmen and pre-freshmen. I mean, they've been here since January. So that'll be good for them. But for us, I mean, we've got to really lock in. Like, we can't have, you know, lapses like we've had the last couple games, and we've got to really lock into scout. And I think we do good with, you know, short prep times anyway. So I think it'll be good for us, and we're really excited.
Any laps in particular against Michigan kind of frustrate you more than others?
I think we just got so frazzled. They started kind of amping up the pressure a little bit. They hadn't really been doing it. We were kind of surprised they hadn't done it earlier. But I think, you know, it was close. It was senior day. There was a lot of things going on, which aren't excuses at all. So we've got to be better at that. And as senior leaders, we've got to like calm ourselves down, get everyone else kind of calmed down sooner. But I think it was just kind of the pressure. And I also think our offense kind of got quiet. We took some bad shots towards the end, and we just took some uncharacteristic shots, uncharacteristic turnovers. So we've just got to be better. I mean, it's as simple as that.
What's important about turning the page and bouncing back from that?
I mean, it's turning time now. Everyone's 0-0, and that's how we got to look at it. We'll learn from it. We'll work on stuff in practice today over a lot of that stuff, and, you know, we'll look at who the possibility of us playing is next, and we'll just kind of go from there. But we don't sit and dwell on it for very long. I mean, even though it was senior day, you know, there's more positives in that day than that loss. So that's how we look at it. But, you know, definitely take it as a learning opportunity and move forward.
What did it take for you guys to adopt the coach's mindset of nobody cares, get over it, figure out a way to get it done?
Yeah, I mean, I just think that the way she does it and the way she embodies that, I mean, it's not, you know, some people hear that and they're like, oh, that's like really like just kind of aggressive, but it's not. I mean, the way she's like, it's fine, like you learn from it, like you made a mistake, it's okay, look at it as a learning opportunity and move on. And I think, you know, we've all kind of had our moments throughout her time here where it's like you know, there's a defensive drill that we do, and everyone will have their day, and it's like a one-on-one drill, and everyone has had their day, and that's kind of an example of how, you know, just getting us to move on from the next play to the next play. And I think, you know, as seniors, we finally adopted that, and, you know, some of us 4 or 5 years in the league, like, you know, like we know what has to happen. You know, you can't sit and dwell on a mistake in games, and so I think just her, you know, reiterating that as much as she does has been really helpful.
Curious, in 4 starters and typically out there, seniors, and you have Barry who's now, like, when you look at her in huddles, like, what do you think? Do you even think about her being a freshman or anything?
No.
It's just time to move on from
I forget she's a freshman half the time. Like, I really do. Her and, like, Jazz being a sophomore, like, I forget they are as young as they are. Like, they're so mature. And, you know, I think Barry has stepped into a huge role that I don't think a lot of people realize how big of a role she stepped into. You know, she's a 3-4 for us, playing more of the 3. But she gets thrown in there against some of those, you know, 4th and 5th year 3 and 4 players that are really good. And she, you know, she holds her own. And she's had freshman mistakes here and there, but I mean, you expect that. But I mean, I'm so proud of her for, you know, not shying away from the opportunity to play, not shying away from being able to start in Big Ten games as a freshman. So I'm really, really proud of her and just how she's like developed throughout the season and stuff.
Maybe not as many minutes for Haven, but I think UCLA first half, she's out there scoring bats. Like, what would that tell you about her?
I mean, we all know she can play. I mean, she, you know, challenges me every day in practice. She works so incredibly hard. She's a great listener. Like, she is a sponge. She absorbs everything. So, like, Letty and I are always trying to, like, tell her little things, like, here and there that could help her. But, I mean, I think she made the most of her minutes in that UCLA game. And it was a breath of fresh air for me, and I was so proud of her. And she, you know, she got that rebound put back at the end of the quarter. Like, that just shows like she's hungry to play. She's hungry to, you know, go out there and compete. And so we're really, really proud of her. And I think, you know, it gave the coaches a little bit of like a sigh too. Like, they have someone off the bench, like if I need a break or if I need to go to the 4, like we did in those couple games. So I think it was huge for her, and I'm really, really proud of what she showed.
Dale got the hometown experience the last 2 years in this thing. You
Yes.
get it this time. Like, is there a caravan that's coming?
Yeah, my mom's been asking me about like how many tickets I get and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, it's like bittersweet. You know, I played state championships there in high school. My first college Big Ten tournament was there, and then now like to end it there, it's pretty special. And I love Gamebridge. Like, I think it's a great place to play. I know my parents are excited about it just to kind of be close to home for it. But yeah, it's pretty cool. All right, selection, Genesis Bryant here. Go ahead, questions from you guys.
How does that sound to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing, honestly, just to be back into that second team, back all Big Ten, and I mean, all the great players. I mean, when you add the 4 new teams and just the competition, I just got to keep working out. Just the competition, I mean, it's just an honor, definitely, and I'm just so grateful and thankful for the opportunity.
When you think of being a second teamer a couple years ago versus a second teamer this year, what's maybe the difference in your game and what you've been able to do in just that short period of time?
Yeah, I think the first year, no one really knew me. So it's like they wasn't expecting me to be any much of a scorer. So I was able to catch people by surprise. But I feel like this year, there was no surprise. I mean, I'm getting the best defenders, the best perimeter defenders, and just people really keying on me. So to be able to do that at that level with that kind of notoriety, I think that's what makes this year so much special.
When you guys went back and watched the end of Michigan, what stood out to you?
Just being poised. I think at the press, and then we kind of started doing our own thing, was when we getting like good shot selection and just key turnovers in those last 5 minutes. I think that really hurt us. And at the end of the day, they had more rebounds and they wanted more to us in those moments. And you hate to say that, but that was the reality of that game. And I think we're going to learn from it. I mean, we're definitely going to learn from it. I think that's going to push us in the postseason play.
What's it been bouncing back? What's it been like for you guys in practice or around each other to learn from that and put it behind you?
Yes, this will be our first practice. So yesterday we had off. I think just having off and just having that mental time, which we're going to go into a big stretch. Hopefully we play a lot of games this week, and just that opportunity to kind of clear our heads, regain our focus, and be ready for this long week is going to be important for us.
How did things not get stale this year, Jen? Like, you know, you got 3 or 4 seniors that have heard Coach Green say the exact same things for 3 years, and how did you guys just not go, God, we're doing this drill again, like in the middle of January?
Yeah, I mean, we fell in love with the basics, and just the fundamentals of basketball is what lose you games, what wins you games, and we saw that come into play this year. So we're a believer in her philosophy and her leadership, and if she wants us to do the most basic kindergarten passing drills, we're going to do it, and we're going to know that she's doing it for a purpose because we have that much trust in her. And also the coaching staff, and they've been here a lot longer. They've been coaching almost as long as we've been alive, so it's like we can trust that process and what they do for us.
Coach said that last year, before the WBIT, when you had a break, a lot of scrimmages, just kind of getting the competitive spirits out. What was that time like, and how did that, I know it's a year ago, but how did that like fuel you guys or even just grow you guys as a team?
Man, it was fun because a lot of times we play against our practice guys, so we're not really playing against each other really at all during the season. But they had that competitive nature. I think we go harder against each other than we do the boys. So they have that competitive nature and have fun with it. I think that really kind of brought that joy and fun because it's not like competing against your teammates and your sisters. So I think that brought that competitive edge back to us, and I think that pushed us into postseason play.
Whether it's Big Ten tournament, NCAA tournament, one and done scenarios, what is that kind of like as a senior group and the mindset you have to have going into that, knowing that that's the situation, the stakes?
Yeah, there's no more guaranteed games. I mean, you lose, you go home and you're done. And I think before your senior year, you kind of think, okay, I got next year, but there is no next year. So I think just playing with that level of intensity and just determination that I don't want my season to end early. So I'm going to try to play as hard as I can, give it all like Coach Green said, we could take a break after the season. At this point, it's like give it your all so you have no regrets.
I don't know how much more there was to learn about Barry, but to see what she did in LA against those two teams in particular, like what would that tell you about her?
Yeah, Barry's gonna have a great career. I mean, she came in the summer. We knew that she was gonna be special, and she's living up. She's exceeding those expectations, honestly. And I'm just so proud of her. I think just her growth, just being able to play the 4 and play the 3, playing the guard and the forward as a freshman, learning multiple positions. That's hard, just on a mental level. But she just takes critique very well. She just takes coaching very well, and those are very good characteristics of a great player.
When you guys huddle like in the middle of it, does it feel like you're talking to a freshman anymore, or like did that kind of sail sometime in December?
Even if I want to, I tell her that you're not a freshman anymore. So sometimes I do see sometimes where the freshman mistakes kind of come in, but the way that we talk to her is like, you got to play like an upperclassman because we need you, and we need you as a freshman. Yeah, that's pressure, but it's good pressure because she can handle it, and she's proven that she can.
Gratifying is that for you to get that award?
Yeah, I just want to give all the glory to God. It's so exciting and very grateful for that, to get that award. And yeah, it was very exciting to see.
Can you describe what the last few days with this and the senior day and now going into the Big Ten tournament, what the emotions are for you?
Yeah, I would say emotions all over the place. Senior day was, it was fun and very sad, but I was just filled with joy, with just being embraced by all the fans and the team and community. And then, unfortunately, we lost, so that hurt as well. But then knowing the opportunity we have this week coming up, that's very exciting too. So, yeah, emotions been all over the place, but really looking forward to the Big Ten tournament.
What's been the response to try to put that one that maybe felt like slipped away in the fourth, to try to learn from that and put it behind you?
Yeah, definitely learning from it. I watched film today, so I feel like we really just got to lock into the details and make sure we just keep our level of physicality where it should be. I just feel like we just got outworked, in that last stretch in fourth quarter, and that's not like us, right? We stay physical and we work so hard. So just locking into the little things like we usually do and finishing strong.
When things maybe snowball, I think it's a term Coach Green used. How do you guys snap? Like, you haven't been in that position for 2 months, but things that snowballs. How do you snap out of that in the course of the game?
Yeah, honestly, we come together when we have time to huddle on the court and just like, okay, pick it up, be better. And I feel like the way it went last game, it just snowballed really fast. So I feel like just being better with responding on defense, and I just feel like we didn't have good responses defensively, like getting stops, boxing out is a huge one. So, yeah, I agree with Coach. We got to address those snowballs.
Were you surprised at all that Coach didn't get the Big Ten Coach of the Year?
Yeah, I think Coach Green is a great coach, and she's the best coach I've ever had. She's so good at what she does, and just seeing what she did for the program is great. But I also know this is a hard league, and nothing's going to come easy, and I know Coach Green is going to get it someday and some year. It's so fortunate, but again, the accolades isn't our reason for doing what we do. Coach Green knows who she is, and we know who she is, and I think obviously that stuff just adds motivation on continuing to prove ourselves right and do what we got to do.
In a tournament setting where it's win or go home, as seniors too, what's that mindset knowing that scenario exists in the Big Ten tournament and then in the NCAA tournament as well?
Yeah, the main focus is just focusing on surviving and advancing, going 1-0 and do what we got to do. And we know every little thing matters, and obviously we want to get to the Big Ten championship and win it. We're not here to just be happy. We're here to win. So just being locked in on that and seeing it as a great opportunity for helping us in the NCAA tournament.
If you could kind of distill it down to one thing, what's key for you in the tournament setting?
I would just say staying aggressive. I feel like lately, these past few games, I've just been settling and I need to just stay aggressive, going downhill and doing what I do best, and just making sure I keep that defensive intensity, because I know I play a huge role with giving the team energy on defense, and I can do better with that.
What did that run maybe at the WBIT do for you guys as a team last season, and can you maybe go back on that experience and pay off as you look at these tournaments coming up here?
Yeah, we just wanted it, and we just worked really hard, and we were really connected, and I definitely think that tournament gave us a lot of experience and will help us for the next tournaments we'll be in. But we just wanted it, and we worked so hard, and we didn't let anything get in the way, and we were locked into a lot of the little things, so we got to have that same mindset and same approach.
Curious what it's like to you to see KB get first team, just knowing how far back you guys go, and what you thought about it.
Yeah, that made me happy to see. KB is a great player. Not really surprised at it. She has brought so much to this program, broke a lot of records. She's a great person, and it's well deserved.